KHQ Local News at 5 begins right now on KHQ. Breaking news.
Strike averted for now. Breaking news in the last 90 minutes that both the Spokane Education Association and Spokane Public Schools have reached an agreement to avoid a school strike right now. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Stephanie Vigil.
I'm Dan Kleckner. It's a big sigh of relief for parents, school employees, students, and the district as Spokane's public schools dodge a strike. Once again, we do have team coverage of both sides of this tentative agreement and the impact it may have on students.
But we begin tonight with Allison Flicker, who is live outside the Spokane Public School offices. Allie, good evening.
Kevin Morrison from Spokane Public Schools, someone a lot of you have seen a lot of lately. And Kevin, you've been very busy over the past couple of days. But Dan and Stephanie said it, a tentative agreement was reached this afternoon. Explain to us what's in that deal.
Well, I'll tell you what, I can't really go into much detail at all. One of the terms of the agreement is obviously we let the union membership see it first and for them to ratify it, which they'll be doing next Tuesday at 5 o'clock. Other than all I could say is we're much relieved, as I'm sure all of them are. They want to be in school teaching, they want to be out serving our meals, and they want to be taking care of our buildings. And this is going to be a great opportunity for everybody to win, especially the kids in Spokane.
You mentioned it briefly, but you said we have to wait till Tuesday for the union to ratify this agreement. That's why right now it's still considered tentative. So what should we pay attention to over the next couple days?
You know, I think all you really need to know is that I think all operations are on as normal. It's going to, I think you're going to see a lot of shoulders relaxed going around your schools a lot more. I know that the parents are going to be a lot, more relaxed. Monday is a holiday. And so it's a little more breathing room there between it all, but activities are as normal, schools tomorrow as normal, and we're looking forward to getting back in the classrooms and get back to the work we're supposed to be doing.
So we'll pay attention again Tuesday night to see what happens there, but again, we are feeling pretty good tonight about that.
I am feeling very optimistic about it.
Optimistic, good word there. Kevin, I have to ask you though, we know this is a one-year agreement, so does that mean all of this can happen again next year? Why such a short deal?
That's a great question. One-year agreements are not unusual, 2-year agreements, 3 years. We thought this would just be a good time. The legislative part of this whole equation was enormous. We didn't receive our funding until July this year, actually what we were going to be getting. So we're going to be putting some added pressure on our legislators locally and at the in Olympia, and asking them to kind of speed up that process. There's 295 school districts in Washington State, and we all couldn't work until July on really what we were going to be, how we would budget. So I think we have to put some pressure on them to come up with their funding models a lot sooner.
Kevin, last thing I want to ask you tonight, we've talked a lot over the past couple of days. I've also been talking to Jenny Rose with the Spokane Education Association. Each day I talked to you both. You couldn't really give us a sense of whether or not a deal would be reached, or a tentative deal, I guess, at this point. Are you surprised a deal was reached today?
I think yes. I guess I'm just surprised that it has gone on this long. I wasn't surprised the deal was reached because I know I've been talking to teachers at when I go shopping, and I've been talking to my custodian friends that I see when I walk my neighborhood, and no one wanted to strike. I think and what happens is the rhetoric ratchets up, obviously, and it doesn't help anything. But we all love what we do. Whether you're serving the meals, or whether you're cutting the grass in front of our schools, or you're lucky enough to be in front of some of our 30,000 children, we love what we do, and that's what's important in the end.
Kevin, thank you very much for talking to us today and for the last couple of days. We'll, of course, be paying close attention to Tuesday night. Allison Flicker live in downtown Spokane tonight, KHQ Local News.
All right, Allison, thank you. Well, up until 90 minutes ago, it was all about being ready to strike. And KHQ Local News reporter Victor Correa joins us in the newsroom now. Victor, we understand some employees were packed up and ready to go.
That's right, Stephanie. Teachers across Spokane Public Schools were told to pack up their classrooms just in case negotiations led to a strike. Now, when school ended today, we were at Shadle High School and talked with one teacher who was reluctantly prepared to be out of class. Teachers packed up their classrooms just in case they found themselves with a picket sign in their hand rather than a textbook tomorrow. When math teacher Greg Yorman left the building, he carried very little.
Yeah, I don't have any plants or animals or anything like that.
It was a tense afternoon for teachers. Yorman did not want to find himself in the middle of a picket line.
Nobody really wants to go on strike. You know, it's just one of those things that, you know, it's unfortunate that we've kind of come to this point where, you know, it seems like nobody's listening to each other.
Because it's a dance he knows all of the steps to.
I was actually part of the statewide strike back in 91 or 92, and when I lived over in the Seattle area.
While he stood against the strike, he stood for its cause.
It's like I've seen my pay go down year after year after year, and we always knew we weren't going to get rich. You know, we just kind of always thought we'd be supported.
Yorman says he makes $400 less a month than he did back in 2008. And now that an agreement has been reached, he's hopeful to see the support he knows is there. Definitely a sigh of relief among teachers and school staff. The agreement renews a one-year contract, and they're hopeful they don't have to walk the tightrope again next year. Reporting in the newsroom, I'm Victor Crea, KHQ Local News.
All right, Victor, thank you. We want to turn our attention to the other side of this tentative deal, the Spokane Education Association. It's the union that represents the teachers, people who work the front desks at the schools, cafeteria workers, many others. Liz Birch joins us live from outside their headquarters tonight. Liz, what's the mood like there?
Dan, well, I'm here with Jenny, the president of the Spokane Education Association, and we've been in contact all week, texting and calling.
Yes, we have.
It's been a very long week for me. I'm sure it's been a long week for you.
It's been a long week. I think even longer for our bargainers. Yesterday they were there for, 17 hours? Amazing, amazing work.
And talk to me a little bit about this tentative agreement. Can you tell me what's in that agreement at all?
I don't even know what's in the agreement. What I do know is we're going to just bring it to our members on Tuesday at 6 o'clock at Rogers High School. We're all going to hear what it is at one time, including the non-economic issues. And then at that point, they will make the decision whether they want to ratify it, which means to vote, to approve it or not.
And are you hopeful that some kind of permanent solution will be reached on Tuesday?
Oh yes, of course, yeah, yes. I think they're going to be very happy. Even though I don't know the numbers, I know our bargainers stayed. We're going to stay there until it was done. So I have all the confidence in the world in our 30 bargainers. They did an awesome job.
And my understanding that is if it was approved, it would be a one-year agreement. What happens after that year mark?
So it would be until August 31st, 2016. So again, we would probably start bargaining about next June after school's out. So we would start right back up.
And really fast before I let you go, like I said, we've been talking and we've been chatting about this. When I talked to you late last night as negotiations were going into the night, you didn't sound particularly hopeful that something was going to be reached right away. What changed?
I have no idea. I just know that this morning I was feeling like, oh my gosh, we're getting to the deadline. What's going to happen today? Because yesterday was not a productive day. So I was just praying all day today. That's something great.
Like your prayers have been answered.
Yes, they have.
Thank you so much, Jenny.
Okay, thank you.
Dan, we're going to send it back to you.
All right, Liz, thank you. Let's bring in Gabe Cohen right now. Gabe, you were there as several football players and coaches found out about this deal at practice in the last hour. What was their reaction?
Well, Dan, these teams are excited. Football season has officially begun. The Shadle Park freshman team's taking on Gonzaga Prep behind me as we speak, but their varsity team not set to kick off their season until Saturday. And there were questions looming as to whether or not that game was actually going to be played. Coaches telling me they feared that their badges might be confiscated, their access to gear cut off if that picket line did in fact form Friday morning. But now they feel they can take a deep breath, have a little sigh of relief. These athletes have been prepping so hard, and let's not forget it's been a long preseason. First the air quality issues, then this strike, but now they feel they can focus on football. Here's what the Shadle Park High School coach told me minutes ago.
Well, as a coach, it's just kind of nice to know, we start out the season battling smoke, and now we're this, and the kids don't know anything, and we don't know anything, but just told the kids we play every day like we're playing a game. And so glad to hear that that's over, no more worries, and now it's just down to the season.
Shadle Park now set to take on Lakeside, a team from Seattle, at 1 o'clock on Saturday at Joe Albee. They say they're hoping the only thing standing in their way now is another group of student athletes. Live at Shadle Park High School, Gabe Cohen, Q6 News.
All right, Gabe, thank you. We first told you about this deal in a breaking news text alert at 3:42 this afternoon. We want to remind you, you can get the latest news sent to you as it happens. Very easy. Just download the free KHQ Local News app for your smartphone or your tablet. You can also follow the news in real time on Twitter or Facebook. Just search KHQ Local News. Well, still to come here on KHQ Local News at 5 o'clock. College football season officially underway. Yes, John Collette is live in Moscow right now as the Vandals prepare for Game 1. We'll check in with him ahead.
And weather-wise, very feeling like football. Fall weather out there, cooler as expected. Temperatures right now, look at that, low to mid-60s for many out there today, but got some sunshine. You go through the rest of the evening tonight, temperatures dropping into the mid-50s by 10 o'clock and going to be getting much colder than that. We'll be talking about that forecast here in a few minutes.
Blake, thank you. But up next, a difficult pill to swallow. There's a disturbing new report out on veterans' health care coverage. Why some are saying that death is working faster than doctors.
For all you do, for putting your lives on the line to keep us safe, for all the firefighters in the inland Northwest fighting wildfires, thank you.